Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, public participation, Mr. Place, how are you?
Once again, I'm back here again to find out what's going on my road. It's been 2.5 months since the first time I was in here. And I met with you and Scotty, obviously, and something was going to be done in a couple of weeks, and that didn't happen. And I had numerous texts with you and conversations at the store, and that didn't happen. And Karina's brought it up twice, and it seems to me we got a road commissioner that's either going AWOL or we're just paying him for the sake of paying him. I don't know what's going on.
I spoke to him after your text, your most recent text.
Right, and we've done that over and over and
I
over.
haven't talked to you since your last text to me, so I'm just giving you an update of what he said. He said he was going to send somebody out there this week. I think it was when did you send a text? Last Friday? Or was it Monday?
Yeah, but this is, like I said, this has been 2.5 months, and I've been told over and over, he's coming next week, he's coming next Tuesday.
I understand that, but I'm explaining
Friday.
what happened after the text.
And it ain't amount to nothing,
Okay.
you know? And Scotty stood at a friend of mine's the other night, and you know what he said? The selectmen tell me what to do. I do what Scotty wants to do.
Okay.
Well, I'm sorry, you guys hold the purse strings. It's time he does his job.
We're not his boss.
He's an elected official, but you guys pay the check.
Yes.
It's up to him to be, if his job is physically keeping him out of this town so he cannot do his job, I'm sorry, there's something wrong.
Again, that's not us. It's not. And
I don't understand, because you guys control the funds.
yes.
Don't pay-
Not when it comes to his salary.
I would say don't pay him. If he ain't doing his job, you don't pay him.
We can't not.
So the laugh is on the town that he takes every week and gets a paycheck, but he doesn't have to do his job.
He is voted in by the people. His
So
pay is
what you're telling me is from here on out, we can have a road commissioner who basically never comes to work.
That's possible.
It's time to change the policy then, because this town's getting ripped off.
And they did try to change that to a point of
You know, I'm
visit.
around town all week long, and I see the two guys working.
Mhm.
I don't have a problem with them, but if they don't have a direction of what to do, it ain't getting done. And that's what's happening. This last week, I took a load of computers over to the dump. I took a load of tires to the dump. I gave a New Hampshire license plate to the state police. 5:30 Saturday night, I had a vehicle in my yard coming out of the woods. 4:30 a.m. Sunday morning, I had a vehicle coming out of the woods. I'm tired of it. And all it takes is do something. I mean, it's been 2.5 months. I shouldn't have to keep texting, every other day. How are we coming? What are we doing?
Is this a town road?
It's a discontinued town road.
Yeah.
So all I'm asking for is on the two ends to put up a sign that says dead end, not a throughway. So that the state police can enforce this, so I don't have vehicles down there doing drug deals, which I've caught on game camera, dumping trash. You know, if you go up Upper Barley Road, or you go up Lower Barley Road,
Yeah, well,
every single person on that road benefits by getting the road plowed, except for me. Every single one of them. But the plow stops at the beginning of the 1,800 feet there, and I don't have a problem with it. I put dirt in it every year. Gordon's brought me numerous loads of dirt. That ain't my road. I grade it, I plow it, I sand it.
Is that a public road?
It's a town-owned road.
All the way to that point?
All the way through. I was told when I built my house.
I don't think it is.
Yes, it is. It was researched by the town attorney prior to me building. And they said, anytime you put any dirt in there, just know that you can't build a town. You're doing it voluntarily. I don't have an issue with it. I keep my road fixed, I plow it, and all I'm asking for is a couple signs.
No, and
I can't even get that. And I am the single house that doesn't benefit from that town plow coming down through. And I still can't get no help. It's frustrating.
I agree, but we're.
So you on the upper or lower
I'm
level,
on Lowell.
coming from 202 in?
And people come in and they don't know the road ends and they end up at my house. But unfortunately, it's been worse than that. Now we have drug dealers that are living on my road. And the cops sit on 202 and they know it. So they come in from the other side and they meet there in the middle. That's my backyard.
We've gone over all this, and I know, and I agree, and that's why I took the
So
time to
how
go out
come
there.
somebody can't call Scotty on the carpet and say, let's get something done?
I just left him a message when I saw you walk in, so I,
You know?
yep.
It ain't mounted to nothing.
We're not his boss.
I don't understand it.
We can't even get him to come into a meeting.
I mean, I see him around pouring concrete all week and it just, frankly, just burns my blood,
All
my
right,
blood
well,
pressure.
if you wanna have a executive session about Scotty, that's
We need to
fine.
do something.
All right, well, we can't do anything about
I
it.
go up Gully Oven Road, it about takes your teeth out, but yet we're over on the other side, hot top in the dirt road. I mean, come on, guys. Somebody's gotta get it together.
Do you have his number?
Absolutely I do, and I got yours.
Have you called him?
And every single time that a car comes out at 2:30, 3:30, 4:30 in the morning, you're available. I'm gonna call
Sure,
you.
you call me.
Because I'm tired of it.
Absolutely. You call me and I'll call the state police if you
I'm
want.
damn tired
All
of it.
right, no problem.
Thanks for
Have a good day,
coming.
Tom. All right. Public participation, where did Jeff go?
Was it there?
Calling the
That's
back.
all right.
Getting autographs.
Huh.
Oh, me?
No, I'm waiting to see if Jeff's coming back in. Is Jeff right there?
Oh, Jeff?
Jeffrey Adams.
Yeah, I'll give him.
I get this one in the
Jeffrey Adams for the big boy seat.
Is that what we're on now?
Signed, yeah.
It is. That's why I
What?
keep saying it.
Signed Danbury, right?
Yeah.
Don't you get any road terms on it?
I
He's
didn't know
supposed-
I didn't know we changed something.
I just don't,
I
I just didn't
got it supposed to
understand,
be coming in.
I just didn't understand about the road, Chucks, over there. If it's not a town road all the
Coming
way
in, Jeff?
through,
Oh, no, I'm good.
you know what I mean?
Okay.
Thank you.
Part of it's discontinued.
Mel, hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Irritated, but congratulations, Chairman.
Yeah.
So I'm here for public participation, and I'm just going to address it again. The last time I was here, asking for my name and my business to be left out of things, and directing it directly to Karina Cole. Clearly that hasn't happened. So I'm here this evening just to clarify what happened on my property Monday. So I do have a 501c3, which you and I have since discussed since you sent your friend Terry in here to slander the fact that I've got this fake nonprofit.
That's an assumption.
Okay.
I did not
Yeah,
send
Mel, can we
Jerry in
keep it?
here.
Okay, so
Karina.
you have admitted that I have a
Mel,
501c3 check?
No, Mel, please, 1 minute. Just, let's keep it to the,
Keep it exactly right. Do you know that I have a 501c3? Have you admitted that I have a 501c3?
I haven't seen the paperwork, but I believe you do.
So you can call the state and you can get a copy of that. Because I was gonna bring it tonight, but I don't feel that you need a copy of my entire life. I find it very, disturbing that I'll assume, again, you want a copy of all of my information that you're getting from Terry Poirier to come in and got the request and you paid for it. So let me just clarify.
How did I pay for it, Mel?
Okay, let me just clarify one thing, Karina. If you are asked not to step on property, why would you volunteer yourself on that property knowing very well that you have been asked very clearly
There was a
not to be there?
request there was a request for volunteers, so I volunteered.
Okay, so why would you volunteer on property that
She
you
said
know
you
you
were
are
not
not
gonna
welcome
be
to?
here.
Who said I wasn't gonna be where?
Deb said you weren't gonna be there.
Okay, let's take Deb out of the equation. Can we just take Deb out of the equation?
what are you trying to?
Back in August, I asked you to step off my property for
No.
several reasons we're not gonna get into. If you knew you were not supposed to be on my property, Karina, you shouldn't have been there. You should have inadvertently asked me, hey Mel, I'd like to help. How do you feel about that?
This is a town business.
Just a second, I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Mel,
I'm getting
all
there.
right.
This
we'll
isn't
get there.
town business.
You're right.
Do I have public?
You do, but about town business.
So the town business is this recall that my name has been slandered
No,
through.
let's,
Chuck,
that's
please.
past us.
No, Mel, you please,
I
it's
understand
past us,
it's
all right.
past us.
It's past
But
us,
for her to go to a fake news reporter
all right.
and
Mel,
and say that she was kicked off my property to create my name to be slandered, again, I'm over it.
yeah,
It needs to stop.
I agree.
I've asked her to stay off my property. I've asked her to stop harassing me. I've asked enough.
Yeah,
She should not have been there and created the storm that she created.
Okay.
She knew she
take it
was
down a
not
level,
supposed to be
please.
there.
Mel, can you please take it down a level?
I'm trying to take it down enough.
I mean
but
your
would
voice
like-
level.
All right, I apologize for my voice level, but my frustration is, it's there.
I understand that. Completely.
So I'm asking for her to please stop the harassment.
Okay.
If she did not go on my property, she wouldn't have been asked to leave.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have had my name
Yeah,
smeared
all right.
through.
Town business.
And one more thing, town business,
Not.
community service
Mel.
is town business.
Mel,
My
I'm gonna ask you to
restaurant
stop, Mel,
has,
okay?
Chuck,
Please, Mel, I'm gonna ask you to stop, please, all right?
All right?
My
If you want to
restaurant
request an
has-
executive session about.
maybe I should then. How do I do that?
Call in and request an executive session if you have a problem with Selectwoman Cole, all right?
All right, that sounds like a great idea. Maybe
Okay.
the harassment will stop then.
Okay.
Hi,
Hey, Deborah.
how are you?
I'm well, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. So first I gotta sign in. So my public participation today is, back to, discussing the Stewartsfield, donations. They have that whole old, dugout all, dug out, and in talking to Phil, today, he says he's been working really tightly with Scotty, and that they're gonna pour a footing, a concrete footing, and that Moody's Masonry is going to be constructing at least some of that. I don't know what part will be wood and what, I'm not working with them on it. This is just their reports to me. Moody's Masonry has now stepped up and is gonna do all the block work, so we wanna give 2 thumbs up to them over on the Fall Road, and thankful for their participation in that. Back to the checks, the donation checks. I talked to Georgie at the trick or treat event on Saturday. Georgie said she would be willing to put a Stewartsfield ball field line under the recreation budget and keep those donations separate under the town recreation department budget for upkeep of Stewart's Field if we can find that agreeable here.
But we can't just do that, can we?
No, you can talk.
Right.
It might be the auditor that's gonna get it.
Okay.
But I know that I'll.
Right, I did go and speak to Georgie, and she was very agreeable to that. She was thankful to everybody who's been donating, and according to Phil today, I guess he's now received five donation checks, and he's got several more that he's looking to pick up. But we're kind of at a standstill on this because we don't have an answer from the selectmen. So if we can possibly put that Stewartsfield ball field under the recreation department, we have no problem giving that money over to the town. It's all, the checks that he's received already are all written to the town of Lebanon.
Hang on one second.
Yep.
Okay. At least recording? Okay.
Am I okay? I hate
Yeah,
to
yeah.
stop mid-discussion.
Sorry, well, we were
So
gonna turn off the
difficult.
video so that people wouldn't have been able to see what you were saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It's not working again?
it's not live streaming,
That's what we gotta call on, that's what I was out there for.
yeah.
Okay, thank you. So the checks that he has right now, 5 checks, are all made out to the town of Lebanon, so that's not a problem. We're sitting on these checks. People gave money for that Stewartsfield ball field, and we're sitting on them waiting for you, so, whatever we have to do, but Georgie's agreeable, and I'm thankful for her help with that. And you can obviously talk to Georgie and make sure. Yeah, so, there's that, and, the second thing I'd like to mention is that, we had a little bit of drama with some free food giveaway, but we are now, back, on track with, Senator Kryzak. We're looking at 2 food giveaways in the month of November. So we're thankful to Ted for continuing to work with us, and continuing to, get us food to give to Lebanon residents. And, we're not sure of the dates. The reason I'm addressing this here with the select board is that we're getting, a lot of people saying, like, how do we know if we can get there if we don't know the date? We don't know the date. Usually we have less than 24 hours notice of pickup and of pickup time and appointment, and we just have to get it. So, I mean, I can't give people notice of something that we don't get notice of, and I just want to make it very clear in town office so that if somebody calls and says, we're not giving dates, it's not because we don't want to. We typically have less than 24 hours notice. Sometimes we have a day or two and we put it right out there, but typically it's less than 24 hours notice of pickup time. So interestingly enough, one of the things that has come out on one of the selectmen's pages was a photograph of several boxes, 14 boxes or 16 boxes, I think it was, of that frozen chicken, which was showed in a photograph with a restaurant owner out of New Hampshire.
I went to a food pantry, correct, or a food donation?
So, yeah, actually, I've really, it stressed me because we gave out those chicken boxes one at a time.
Mel, please.
It stressed me very much because I didn't know where these 14 boxes of food were. I think they said 16 boxes. I think it was actually 14. But I didn't know. Jean Grover, Vouchers for Veterans, reached out to me and said, what the heck is this? She showed me the photograph. I had no idea. She had spoken to one of the food pantry people who are connected with the Milton, New Hampshire food pantry. I talked to Ted. I gave him that guy's name, which I'm not going to say publicly here. And Ted was a personal friend of his, so Ted actually did reach out to him to find out what was going on with that, and mystery solved. Apparently all of this extra chicken was also donated to several food pantries in New Hampshire, and they, like our own food pantry, did not have cold storage in order to keep them. So basically they had to get them and they had to give them. They did give them out to whoever wanted them in New Hampshire, in their area of New Hampshire, and they wound up with several boxes left over. The particular restaurant that did take the either 14 or 16 boxes, depending on who you ask, does a free meal for the homeless once a week. They had cold storage, and the remainder of their boxes, which, like I said, arguably 14 or 16, was given to that New Hampshire restaurant who did their weekly meal for the homeless. So those boxes weren't even attached to us. They had nothing to do with us, and that was all through the New Hampshire food pantries. So I want to make that really clear because for a selectman not to have asked us about this and given us time to figure out what happened. As soon as we found out there was an issue, we went to work at finding out what happened, and clearly now we've found out, and it has nothing to do with us. So, I'd like to ask the selectmen to stop hurting us and start helping us, and I'd appreciate that very much. So that's the, right where it's posted.
Wasn't my Facebook
I've been
page.
asked not to
All right.
say it, so.
Let's-
Just for the
Anything else,
record,
Deborah?
not my Facebook page.
I know, excuse me. But that was very disturbing at any rate. And so I'd like to make it very clear that most of our volunteers do not even go home with a box of this food for themselves. We give this all out. And Butch can attest, he's been right there with us. He can attest, we're taking it right back from our volunteers and saying, we got 5 more cars, sorry, give us your box because it's going. And we give it all out. We have nothing left at the end. This particular last time with the USDA boxes, Ted did call me from Acton. He had 30, after we had given out all of ours, he had 30 boxes remaining. I left my house, I met him at the park and ride. There were several people that had not gotten boxes that I contacted, and they came right down, got boxes. We wound up with 8, I believe.
You delivered one to someone I know that.
We had 8 left over. We went to the firehouse, and we put them on a pallet there. Some of the responders each took a box home, and I wound up with 3. I put them in my car and delivered 2 to people that could not get out to the park and ride. I delivered 2, I had 1 left. I called Chuck, I said, do you happen to know anybody that needs this box? I was thinking of a particular woman that Chuck had alerted me to before. He called her, indeed she could use that box, and I delivered that last box to her over on the west side. So, I did not even take home an onion. Everything went out. And milk, we had 10 gallons of milk left over, and some of that did wind up getting thrown out because it was on a pallet at the firehouse and nobody came to get it overnight, and I didn't feel it was safe to give out that milk. We did alert people, several people went down and got the milk, and I'm not sure exactly how many got thrown in the dumpster, but it wasn't many. But it was only the gallons of milk, and for some reason we had gotten a total between what was in Acton and what was here. I believe it was 155 boxes, but we had like 250 gallons of milk. So yeah, we were just giving out milk. Everybody just come get milk. But we did wind up, and I think it was 10 gallons that I left at the fire station. Some people did come down and get it, and in the morning we did have to throw out a few gallons of milk, but it wasn't much. So, and that was acceptable. We told everybody who gave us the food and stuff, that's what we wound up with, that's what got thrown away. So, I just want to make it clear that we're doing this and everything is on the up and up.
All right, excellent, Deb.
I wish I had known that he was doing it at the parking ride, because I drove all the way to Acton to get a package for somebody that.
So we did not know, Karina, and I know that you like to think we know these things with a crystal ball.
No, that's okay.
I don't
just
have
wish I
that
had
cloak.
known.
All right, anything else, Deborah?
Excuse me, but let me finish my statement here. And that is that Ted called me at, I believe it was 5 minutes of 5, and he said, I gotta get rid of these last 30 boxes. There's nobody coming to get them in Acton. And I said, meet me at the park and ride. I called the people. They met me at the park and ride. You had already gone to Acton and gotten your box because he had left. And he was now at the park and ride giving me the remaining boxes. So it wasn't a nefarious deal to keep
All right,
you from
Deborah,
getting a box.
Karina, please, Deb's got the floor. Anything else, Deborah?
I don't know right now.
Okay, so maybe for the good of the
Does
town?
anybody else have something? And then I'll come back, I'll finish, because right now I can't breathe.
Okay,
You'll
so
have
why don't
to-
you say it for good of the town then?
For good of town.
All right.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, Chief?
Good evening. How are you? I'm good. Okay, so when I got hired, we have an agreement. I have all the respect in the world for you guys, and there's no BS. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. If you have a problem with me, you tell me. If you're going to do something with the fire department, I would like to know, okay? And unfortunately, I'm pointing this to you. I understand that there were some phone calls made under an investigation.
There was one phone call.
I understand there was 2 phone calls.
There was one.
Let me finish, please, okay? One to dispatch, and when you're under an illegal investigation or illegal investigation, that information cannot be given out. Remind you that it was a fatal fire, okay? My individuals on my department have gone through a lot because of this fatal fire. It's not something you can recuperate in one day's time. Number 2, I received a phone call from another individual who stated he received a phone call from you that next morning, requesting him to gather more information on these voice recordings.
What morning was that, Chief?
The next day, after she had called dispatch that night.
That was Friday morning?
I believe so. So, the fact that, number 1, you would call a former fire chief and ask him to gather the recordings of an investigation irritates me to all end, okay? Number 2, or the third thing that really irritates me is I'm a type of person, I will deal with you folks on everything and anything. And when I find this out from dispatch, it's their obligation to tell me, that this is going on without me knowing, and going on to a former fire chief who happens to be a very good friend who I respect gratefully. And when I find this out, I am not very happy. This puts us right back to where it was prior to August 28th. And I made a vow to you folks, we will not ever be in prior August 28th. And what happened in this past couple days have put us back into that category. And I want you to know right now, I'm going to do everything I can to keep us out from going there. I do not appreciate that that happened. It bothered me tremendously. It upset my firemen. My firemen and women have been doing a fabulous job. I will put my life on the line with every one of them. I will go inside a burning building with every one of these firefighters. Everyone that was on this fatal fire, which I'm not going to talk about. And when I'm hearing all this stuff, it really bothers me as a town leader or as a fire department leader to think that this would happen to something in my mind that's going very well.
So, I received a call from you about it that night.
Mm-hmm.
And as I told you then, and I'm going to say now publicly, I had no idea what was going on, none whatsoever, and understood that you were upset.
I'm very
and I reached
upset.
out to Paul. Paul had no idea what was going on. Mr. Adams had no idea, but she had no idea. So I just want to make it clear that this was not a board decision, a board action in any way. So that's, I want to make that clear, that you're right. When you were hired, we all made an agreement that this was your department, and if we had a problem, we were coming to you, going through you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, for the most part, we've done that.
Yes,
I think I've done it every time, and I can't speak for
I
everyone
feel
else.
very
but-
strongly that I have a very good rapport with this board. I have a lot of respect for this board. I can tell you, coming from where I have been to where I am now, you guys are way up here on my totem pole.
All right, so I just want to make that clear now. Karina, I don't know if you want
I
to give
do.
an explanation.
I can give you an explanation, and it was Tuesday night that I
Okay.
made the phone call.
That's fine.
Okay,
Doesn't
and
matter what
Wednesday
night.
morning, I came to see you to talk about it. And I gave a number to the person on duty, and you never returned my call.
I was off that day. I took a personal day off because I deserve a day off.
Okay, but I did call and came over to see you about this, because I've had,
That was after you made the attempt to
yeah,
get
well,
the
I
records. I think what
made
he's
that
asking
phone
is next
call
time in the future,
because I've had,
contact him first.
can I speak?
Well, I'm telling you, I
This
think
is
you're
my
confused.
time. No, I'm not confused.
Well, I think
Let me
you are.
explain.
Okay, go ahead.
So Tuesday night, I heard from another person. This was the second person I've heard that told me that I should listen to that call.
Okay, first of all,
Who are you?
number one,
Deborah.
I'm a selectman.
okay, I'm asking you a question. That person you heard from is none of my business. Is that a taxpayer?
Yes.
Are they both taxpayers?
2 people were a taxpayer, 1 was not.
Okay, so you're taking information from somebody who is not a taxpayer, is that correct?
I got
Who has
I
a
did not.
disgruntled, who has a
Okay.
disgruntled with
Listen,
my employees?
are you gonna let me finish?
After I finish,
Now,
I'm trying to.
okay? One of these individuals, so I'm not gonna mention any names, because I don't think I need to give that person the time of day.
It had nothing to do with the letter from that had been gotten on Friday.
I'm gonna
Because
be
there was a
inclined to
letter
call
on
your bluff
Friday.
on that. So
No,
let me
it
ask you this,
didn't, because
Selectman.
this happened on Tuesday.
If you got an email, or if you got a phone call regarding my fire department, which I am the department head, why did you not call me that night or send me an email telling me, Chief, I have a complaint with somebody within your fire department. It's my right as a fire chief
And I
to take care
apologize.
of my
I
individual.
should have.
Yes, you should
And
have.
I apologize for
Okay.
not doing the proper
You're right.
thing. And
Right.
and that's why I came on Wednesday to apologize to you and explain what happened.
It should have happened before Wednesday. It should have happened when you got the email stating there is an issue
It
with
wasn't
my fire.
anything to do with the email. It was about a personal visit from somebody.
Okay, it's fine. Whether I talk to you in person, whether I send you an email, if it involves my firefighters, I deserve the right to know, Chief, there is an issue that was brought to my attention. The individual came into my house tonight at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 3 o'clock, it doesn't matter.
Okay, you know what, then tell us, the whole board, when that email came in on Friday, who asked for an appointment with you ASAP?
Karina,
First of all, it was my day off. Second of all, this is about my people, okay?
And I asked
if you
for
got
a meeting
Karina,
with
hey,
you.
can you guys just take it down a notch,
If
please?
you got this information, before you made a phone call in a legal investigation, illegal, okay, legal, why did I not get a text, a phone call? Everybody has my phone call numbers here, am I correct?
I know it pretty well.
Okay, why out of the common courtesy did I not get that phone call? Why do I have to hear from a former fire chief that, oh yeah, hey, I received this call, she wants me to get her recordings of a legal investigation going on? Why is that gonna make me happy? Why, as my fireman, do I have to put them in that type of situation? I don't even know what you're looking for, number one. If you would have asked me, I would have been more than happy to explain to you, if I can, what's going on.
I asked Friday night for a point to have you involved ASAP.
Who did you talk to?
Did you get a call? I sent an email to everybody, all these other
Did I
selectmen.
get an email?
No, you didn't. You were
Okay.
not called on it, and I told them you needed to be.
So why didn't
ASAP.
you include me if it includes my
I
department?
didn't send the email. Let's find it. Let's
You don't
find
need,
it.
back off.
Oh, no, let's
Back
find
off
it.
6 feet.
Because I did not.
If it involves my department, and you guys, if I'm overstepping my bounds, please tell me.
No, if you could just take it down.
I'll find it.
I'm
I'll
sorry,
find the
sorry.
email
If
and you can
involves-
read it.
If it involves.
Karina, what he's saying is that you sent the email to us, you should have sent it to him.
Why can't I be?
No, you sent it, I'll tell you what email I sent. I asked for a meeting with all of you
Why
and
didn't you
the
just call the
chief
chief?
ASAP.
Why didn't you just call him?
Yes, I did.
You didn't
Do you
ask
read me your email?
Yeah, I did.
Well, let's bring it up. I'll bring it up, exactly the email that I sent.
Why didn't you, why couldn't you? Have I done
Okay,
enough
so the
wrong
chief
for you
went-
not to include me in this and say, hey, chief, I want
This
you to know?
wasn't me, chief. This was sent by Paul, by Paul.
So, but why can't I be notified? If you took a complaint.
Ask
if
Paul why
somebody
you
took a
didn't
complaint-
ask.
Okay, I'm opening this up on the floor, so I'll take the heat off you. If somebody received a complaint, why wasn't I notified?
I didn't know about the complaint myself.
Yes, you did. You were on it.
Can I finish, please, Karina? I didn't know about the complaint until my phone broke, so I don't have the email coming to my phone with everything going on. I didn't know about the complaint, because if I had received the complaint, I talked to Chief almost daily. I would have called Chief and told him about it.
There's a letter.
Right there. And Stacy, it was addressed to Stacy and Chuck Russell. And then it was forwarded to all the selectmen.
Oh, and the name, that's the individual I'm talking about.
Okay.
He was not a taxpayer of this town. Why is that
Okay,
gonna be-
I don't know, but look at this. I think we should be meeting with Mr. and the chief as soon as possible. I've heard some very disturbing things about this scene.
Again, that is a investigation, and that scene, the individual was not even there.
Can I cut
But
you?
right here,
Oh, time out, hey, hold on, I gotta cut you all off.
Okay,
Hey, I gotta cut you all off. It's an open active investigation with the state fire marshal, it
Sorry.
stops right now. Any further discussion going forward with it, all phone calls get directed to the state fire marshal.
Thank you.
Okay?
Well, Chief, let me ask you this. If
Should have been
we,
included.
You're right.
if Karina agrees in the future to just, she has your number to call you if there's any complaints or anything like that, to call you immediately.
It's called teamwork, guys.
I agree with you 100%, dude. I'm not, Karina, I'm speaking, Karina,
I'm
please.
not the one that made the phone calls.
Chief, please.
Yeah, 'cause they weren't doing it.
Karina, seriously, please. If we agree, which I thought that was the agreement anyways, because I call you whenever there's anything going on, you're my first call.
Everything was supposed to be diverted to the chief
Yes,
director.
100%, and I think we're all following that except for this mistake that.
And I apologize for that.
I'll take that apology, thank
I
you.
didn't have email for 3 days either.
So, going forward, Karina, are you all right with making sure you call chief before you, if you get a complaint?
absolutely.
Okay.
And I would like to hear a copy of that transcript.
You don't get
For personal
to,
reasons.
you don't get to.
Well, then maybe we can discuss it in
No, you
I
executive
can't
session.
discuss, it's a
Chief,
legal
Chief,
obligation, and I'm
Chief.
not discussing it.
Chief, you do not get the right to, none of us do. I already spoke to people involved. It's an open active investigation. We have zero involvement with this.
It's a typical investigation after a fatal fire, correct?
And that's it, okay? And I'm gonna give the state fire marshal number. Anybody wants questions, you direct them to the state fire marshal.
Oh, so I can call them now, it's
You
okay?
can call the state fire marshal if anybody wants to talk to him, because it's an open investigation. We do not have any say in it whatsoever, period. I'm just gonna give out the fire marshal number. Just give me 1 second.
And
And the only other
is this a
thing I'm
standard,
gonna
is this a let me ask a question though, this is a standard, after a fatal fire, there's normally an investigation of some sort, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And I do want to say, on behalf of my firemen, there was a critical incident stress debrief, which means my firemen were very bothered by this fire. Okay? That next day, I was in Vermont, unfortunately. I was on the phone setting up a critical incident stress debrief for my firemen who had to deal with a dead person.
And did you see?
Let me finish,
Karina,
please.
please.
Okay? And for my firemen to be contacted right after a critical incident stress debrief is something that just blew my mind away. You do not do that. I don't care if you're who you are, what career field you are in. You give the respect to a fellow firefighter, to a person that has been through what they've been through, that respect. That's all I'm gonna say on that, okay?
And any further inquiries about this investigation that is being conducted by the state, refer to 207-626-3870. It's an open, active investigation. They're the only ones that any information should be going through. Period.
Thank you.
Sorry, Chief, you had to go through that.
I'm sorry, when it comes to, you guys know, I love my fire department. I love this job, and we have come a long ways. I will continue to love my job, but I will also continue to protect my firefighters to no end. And if it means me getting my butt in a sling, I will do that for my firefighters and for this town.
And did you also get the email that I sent you appreciating that you were doing the
Appreciate it, you do a
debriefing?
great job, you do a great job, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
You do a
Thanks,
great
Chief.
job, Chief. Thank you.
All right.
Good.
I'd just like to ask a question to Karina.
Go ahead.
Whether you know it or not, that was my cousin that passed away.
Oh, I didn't know it, and I
It
apologize.
it doesn't matter, but what gave you the right to jump in on that and stir things up?
I didn't jump in.
You
on-
didn't? Whatever you did, that wasn't jumping, it was
Jumps on
jumping.
everything.
All I
please.
asked for was a transcript of that
Why?
call.
Why did you need it?
Because some people said some very disturbing thing to
people.
me, and I wanted to look at it to,
That fire had nothing to do with you,
Yeah. Deb, please.
nothing.
well, okay. What would I do next then?
Call the chief, Karina. If you get a
I
call.
will call the
just
chief
Well, call the chairman and let him know what's going on.
all you have to do is call Chief Flynn.
Well,
Or
when
call
I
the vice
sent
chair,
the
don't
email
call
on
me.
Friday asking everybody to get together ASAP, I got nothing back.
I'm gonna jump with you, Howard.
I didn't ask you to jump.
Yeah, you did.
You don't think this is an important issue?
No, it
If people
wasn't.
are disturbed about it?
No, it wasn't.
Someone's death is not important.
It's not what he's saying.
Yeah, that ain't
He's
what I'm
saying
saying
it's
at
an
all.
open investigation and we cannot do nothing about it.
It's none of our business, that's fire department business.
If you have a problem or get complaints, you should either call Paul or call the chief.
Yeah,
Well, I did not mean to stir anything. I just,
It looked like you were.
Wanted to bring it-
You
I
feel
was
you were going
gonna-
behind his back, which is what it appears to be.
it was not meant any ill intent. It wasn't.
I understand why he's upset. So I think if you don't have his number, I'll give it to you, and you can call him in the future whenever there's a complaint about the department and speak to him. That would be my suggestion. Yes, Deborah?
I may also say that Chief was not here on Friday, not here on Saturday,
Yep.
not here on Sunday, Monday or Tuesday. He was, after spending all of his weekends and everything else here in town, overseeing the restoration of that fire department that this town did not take care of for many years, he was on a well-deserved 4-day time off.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If you would've called him that night, he was in Vermont. He
But
couldn't have come right down here.
No, but she could have called him and talked to him about
Correct, rather
the
than calling the
complaint.
state
Yes,
and other fire chiefs. And-
yeah, all right. Review of minutes?
I make a motion to accept the minutes of October 22nd, 2020 as written.
I was there second, even though I was late.
All in favor?
You want them one at a time?
Sure.
That's the, I think
Updated.
you all voted to take it, you just didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This just needs my signature, is that all? All right, yeah. You gonna be a witness? Oh, yeah, that was, thank you. That was the Animal Welfare Society contract for our animal control office. Contract that some of the prices got a little lowered in, I believe, correct? That was
I
the
think
same.
it's, yeah, it's the.
Everything's the same.
Alright. This is membership for code MBOIA, I don't know what that is. Maine Building Officials and Inspectors Association.
That's good.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm just gonna. As long as you- And Chelsea will sign this after, and then she'll see it, and then when it's time.
Okay. This is appointment papers for the Budget Committee.
No. Election clerk.
Oh,
You got your last reading.
I did forget my glasses again. I just thought I could read James's name. All right, this is appointment for election clerk. This is for James Dupree. This is for Autumn Bridges. This is Roxanne Bumford.
Oop, you wanna change that, it's not, election clerk, okay.
Oh, election warden, Roxanne Bumford.
This is your favorite part.
I know,
We really need to go
right? I was
after
gonna
this.
say, holy crap, there's a lot of them too. Yeah, if you have them, that would be awesome, thank you.
I can't give you mine because I have one, that's a few of them.
All right, this is a veteran, this is a tax abatement. The veteran exemption was omitted at commitment for map R04, lot 016, Trio account 510. Should I read the name on this, on these? Okay, all right.
I think they always just go by the number.
Yeah, just the map and lot number, no names.
And this is a PG, I don't know what that is.
Tree growth.
Oh, the tree growth penalty was paid but not notified for map R15, lot 015, 2228. This is ownership correction and value correction. Court determined land is landlocked without rights of access on lot, map R11, lot 013, trio account 3895. Who's, abatement for an illegal assessment owned by daughter instead. For, map V000, lot 0017, trio account 3158.
Guys, they've got the spectacles,
Oh, okay.
Why would anyone laugh?
they never wear it.
They look good on you.
And then, illegal assessment owned by daughter instead. Map 000, lot 0017. Incorrect ownership at commitment, bill of sale issue, lot 0000118. Mel, will you shut the door, please? Incorrect ownership, I already said that. And here's the closed supplemental tax bill. Map R15, lot 15. Correction of tree growth.
Good evening.
Supplemental tax bill for map 000, lot 0017.
Straight.
Supplemental tax bill. For map 000, lot 0017. Another supplemental tax bill. Map 000, lot 0118. Another supplemental tax bill. Map R11, lot 013.
So this property has no value now and won't have any value?
Well, the supplements are over here.
Is that Emmons?
Yeah. So is it going zero value
I
forward?
would say that must be Dean's.
No names, but
I have to ask. Yeah, no names.
He's an abbot.
What's the lot number? What's the lot number?
maybe in that time.
That's my test.
Lot number is, R11-013.
So
So that's map and lot, I'm sorry, lot number is 013, map is R11. Okay, I get it right.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah, can you hand that back to us?
Have the recycling business, so you don't have to put it in. I just don't.
That and,
The previous years, 'cause I haven't.
also with the homestead stuff, they're actually showing those now for the upcoming tax years. 22.5 is what they're showing on.
This is a junkyard permit. We did the inspection earlier in the year, Paul.
I already signed, you all set, Paul?
Yeah, well, it's that one.
I think you got that over there.
Yeah, this would be the one for,
These are the ones.
maybe this one off the other one, okay?
I mean, I'll sign it, but I
Which one?
just don't know if it will continue to be at zero value.
Sounds like it's like Court Auto, it's not, it's landlocked, so
Has no value.
has no value, yeah. So it sounds like.
Yeah, I believe there was a court case.
Yeah, 'cause we can't do anything with it.
Everyone puts the property around it, you can't even get to it.
Let's bring a helicopter in, put a helicopter.
Is there a
pad.
way that we can note in Trio that if that land ever becomes accessible to
Oh, that's Paul,
look at it?
but I gave you a copy too. Are you bringing that up in individual?
I would think, the way they're saying it being landlocked, they'll only be accessible if one of the other people that got them landlocked either purchased it, or they give them
Right, that can be noted in the Trio thing?
Yeah, that would have to be registered under the title.
Oh, okay. Okay, Kevin.
No, we're still waiting.
I don't know which one that is.
It's a Tree Road.
Which is going over there, I guess, to make it. Did you guys read the tax bills? 87% of the money they collect on our property taxes
Goes to school.
Couldn't believe it when I read that today. I'm like, wow.
When I say this might be mine,
What?
when I say this might be mine, settlement issues,
Yeah, that's fine with me. Does that work for you? Yeah.
just so we, because we've got 6:30 deadline. So.
Oh, we got a 6:30. Oh,
Oh, that's right.
So we have time to do the thing.
okay, yeah, even if it takes a few minutes.
Yeah, shouldn't take long.
Yeah.
I just add this time.
Hold this today.
So that's all this is just saying it's expired and it's not?
Yeah, it's a
It's just a
renewal.
renewal, yeah.
We renewed.
Yep, and Paul and I walked the property earlier this year.
It's an interesting adventure.
It was. A lot of cool cars there.
Did you going right into agenda? Let's see, next.
Yeah.
Did they leave?
No, Brenda's right there.
We're getting ready to go in. Is he right there?
Right there.
Okay.
Sorry,
Oh, that's fine.
Chatty Cathy.
Someone gave me a gummy that made me cough uncontrollable.
You trying to say they set you up?
Yeah, right. Ooh, you're not, yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Hello Brenda, hello Kurt, how are you guys?
Well, thank you, how are you?
Doing well?
Rich, nice to meet you. Do you shake hands? Okay. Some people get all.
Nice to meet you, Butch.
I shake hands,
Nice to
whatever.
meet you, thank you.
I don't wanna kill anyone.
For the record.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not mad at anybody. We are having, or would like to have our last ever event on November 7th. Of course, I've always tried to, it's a little late, obviously, but I've tried to come before the board, talk to you about what our plans are over there. Brenda and I are also thinking the last two lots that we have, probably couldn't do motorized stuff over there, but we might not mind doing some form of outdoor venue in the future, but that's the future.
another.
Yeah,
Down the road.
yeah, but like I said, we would like to do our last fling. It is a, what we call one and done. They come in, and you know what the beautiful part is? Daylight savings. My point is, we're gonna start racing at 10 o'clock, and we gotta be done at what?
4.
Well, I don't know, you tell me, it's gonna be dark.
Yeah, welcome to the dark.
Right, 'cause it's dark at 5 now, so.
Well, I've got people, why don't we do this, and how come we're not doing that? I said,
Yeah, Mother Nature.
right,
very small window of time.
right.
But this is it, one and done.
Is that the
Yeah,
It's
so,
77 degrees in here,
So-
that's why.
It is hot in here.
Yeah,
I'm like, I guess I could pull
So,
this.
with all the COVID restrictions, did you get your camping permit extended?
I have contacted them 3 times and left 3 voicemails. Can't get anybody to contact me back.
There's a
I'm
big
not quite sure what's going on.
legislative thing going on here, whatever you call it, local. I know in this town, you can only camp up to October something or other.
Right.
But as it says on the flyer,
Yeah, most of them close at 15.
Right.
something like that.
I talked to, Scott Davis, and he said, you know, in the state has their own, there is no date.
No date,
Winter
you can get
camp,
around if you
right.
want.
Year round if you want.
I don't want that
Right,
responsibility.
and
I
he
don't
told
wanna
me,
find a
he said,
popsicle.
right, he said, because you need to extend that, he says, I don't do that, Carol Gott does. I've called her 3 times, left 3 messages, I don't know what else to do.
How do you have it set up for the COVID?
We have porta potties broken up, in fact, United Site Services, they do
good,
that.
good.
We have it broken up so that we can have groups of either 50 or 100, you tell me, I believe. And then there can be space in between them. Obviously, it's an all outdoor event. We have no place that we're inviting anyone to come into. I kind of feel guilty. I would like to put up little heating huts, but again, then you're promoting
Right,
togetherness. We've had 2 pretty good sized events this year with 0 repercussions. Thank you. I'm hoping we can get this off. I'd like to think with the colder temperatures and everything that we have a fair shot at not spreading anything that's out there, whether it's the common cold or corona.
Well, I know if your camping permit was renewed, and even if you didn't have camping, and you did it under the state guidelines of a campground,
right.
if you had them in groups of 50, where they had their own path to the arena and their own porta potty section, and kept them separated in groups of 50, you would be legal to have an outdoor event.
Okay.
I think you guys have seen how the arena is set up. If you said group, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you could go to whatever section you wanted without passing through any of the others, because it is an arena.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, if you guys can get that, in touch with them or try and get that extension and can show a map that has it separated where the barriers are and the separate porta potties for each group of 50, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
I always err on the side of more porta potties than we really think are needed, because that was always one of our pet peeves, going to any other event, they hated it.
Yeah.
I want, if I want 70, I want 70. I don't care if there are 100 people there, I want 70 porta potties. Everybody gets one. You get a porta potty. You get a porta potty.
then you have to write the check to.
Yeah, I know. Then you write the check to United Site Services.
I'll take a tree.
I know, right?
Well,
That's what I love about men.
It would be legal with the state if you had your camping, even if you didn't have overnight, but if you operated under the campground COVID guidelines.
Okay.
Which is groups of 50 separated,
Right.
never come in contact with each other, then I wouldn't have a problem with it.
I had to go online twice now to fill out that form.
Yeah.
From the state.
Yeah, and I read the updated stuff, because they're going into a different phase too.
Right.
So if you guys can
Right.
get them to sign off, I too would be okay with signing off.
Get for the campground
Yeah.
permit, okay, all right, I will.
Might even go to 100 by, is it gone, is it?
I think it's gone to 100.
It's gone to 100, but effective, I think it's at the, what was it, the third? Third, I think it is. I printed it off, but I don't
Yeah,
have it
that's
with
all right.
We
me.
tried to find stuff on the internet, but
Yeah.
you all know the
Oh
joke.
my
If it's on the internet,
goodness.
it must
There
be
must
true.
be,
I don't
right.
wanna go there.
Scott is the one that told me that if when there was the other issue with the other camping place here that had
Right.
a permit, that as long as they were kept in groups of 50 at
Yep.
that time, but he knows all the guidelines, he said they needed separate porta potties for
Yep.
each group, separate.
She's already talked to him, and he gave her the woman's name, so it's just
It's Carol
extended.
Gott, call this phone number.
Yeah. Like I said, and he might know if it went to 100, maybe it's gone to 100, I don't know.
He's probably the
Yeah,
person
Karina?
to ask.
I do know that there were some new guidelines came down, I haven't reviewed them all, but they have closed down entertainment inside buildings. I don't know how they do the outside ones, but they have shut down, like Trains is not having an event this weekend because of the COVID.
And no music,
No music, no inside,
Indoor.
yeah, indoor,
you can do outdoor.
live entertainment, I don't know, I would have to check it, I don't know,
Okay.
but.
I'm pretty sure you can do outdoor from what
Yes,
I've
you
read.
can, yeah.
The 29th, that was what you're talking about, unless they sent it out, that only said it to, well, today, today's 29th.
Unless they extend it one.
Well, they stopped their party for Saturday night.
Maybe they extended it, and I didn't see that they extended it.
So would there be a way for you guys to get us a layout of that kind of setup?
So you wanna see the 50 people?
Just the sections,
What are we
Yep.
gonna call it, 50 or 100? Because I need to know.
I think Scott,
Should be the state.
yeah, I think you should ask Scott what the number is.
I wanna say, from what I looked at the other day, it said 100
100, that's what I read too, 100,
Per event,
right, well,
per
separate.
section.
Per section.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah,
but I will look again,
Okay.
just to be
We'll
positive.
do, thank God and Google for Google Earth.
Okay.
We'll get you one of these.
That map there.
yeah, this one.
Yeah,
If you could just section it
Yeah,
where the green ones are,
that's all.
and their pathway,
Realistic look at
so
the
we
place
have it,
with the roads.
and then we can say we did our
Sure.
part for the COVID.
Yep.
Are you
Separation.
doing pre-sales, or are we expecting another event with 1,700 people?
It's one day.
It's a one-day event,
I'm
I
not doing
don't see why we
pre-sales.
would get that many people even in my fantasies.
Right.
Well, your last event was pretty well attended.
It was.
It was.
It was.
But it was overnight camping also.
Yeah.
Well,
And it's gonna be cold
Yeah,
and dark. Like I said, these are some of the things I'd like to thank the
Right.
people for 12 years of their patronage.
Right.
In fact, we don't call them customers, we call them our guests.
Yes.
Yeah,
well, and your map layout could have several extra sections, and you could, if people didn't show up, you could move the barriers in between, so the
Right.
sections open up for them.
Right.
And if you had enough sections, I mean, you'll need to be counting at the door, because if you can only have 50, if they come down and look at you
Right.
from the state, then,
We
You know.
have a system.
yeah. So I don't see a
As they come
problem.
in, their license is scanned, so we're tracking.
Yep, so then you could know if you
Tracking,
have 10
right.
sections for 50 people, and you get
Exactly.
501, you
say,
tell
you know,
501 guy, he can't come in,
right,
you know? And so then it doesn't matter how
right.
many sales you make, is, you know.
We have
you can
10
adjust it.
sections, 20 sections, whatever.
Exactly, yeah, yeah.
All right, we'll do that.
The simple math, as long as it lines up with the state.
Yep. If it lines up with state guidelines and everything, and that way,
Yep.
Karina, it won't matter if they have 20 sections and 1,000 people show up.
I think they deserve another one, like you say.
It's been a long
I'm gonna be a
road, you
blubbering
know,
idiot.
I'm gonna
Just-
be,
You're gonna see men
weeping.
hugging.
You can't hug, you can't hug. I'm gonna have to get you pool noodles, that's it.
Put them on years,
Payback.
we put them on years ago when I was with the mud stompers, way back in
Oh,
Kennybunk.
yes.
Yeah, remember the pictures we had of that?
That one in Kennybunk on the plains we put on, 7,000
I was
people.
gonna say, we had a picture of that event, and I said to him, look
No,
at,
don't trust me.
And we all did our own security.
yeah.
Yeah, there used to be a racetrack over there, too, which he ain't telling you.
I know.
But you know, it's,
We've done
we
our
used to do mud climbs in Waterboro.
Well, I gotta say, working with you guys through your permits and everything has been awesome, and it's a shame you're moving on from it.
Turn the page, no, another chapter.
The good piece on
I
Prospect
think
Hill,
we see it
Big
sometimes,
Chunk.
you guys usually around there?
And if you need any,
Just show trucks.
Oh, yeah.
if you need any help or have any questions, you know my number. Feel free to call me out if you're trying to, figure something out. I can get on Google too and see what I can find for you. Or I can call Scott as well. I've spoken to him before.
Yep, Scott's a super fair guy.
Oh, yeah, he is. Yep. He's been in town a lot lately.
Sure is.
Yeah,
When do you think you can get the Google, tomorrow's what, Friday?
tomorrow's Friday,
It's
I'll be
every day's
working right
Monday.
on that.
But get that for
I'll be
them so
calling
we
Carol
can.
every 5 minutes, Carol, it's me again. Pick up the phone, I know you're home.
Tell me you need an answer by next Thursday.
Yeah, I tell her, I said, no, we went to the, before the board, we need an answer.
All right.
It's what, November?
November 7th, just a
Do
one
you have their
day.
email too, Brenda? Scott and
I do,
Carol?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Email
yes,
Is that
thank
Sunday?
you.
Yep.
Saturday,
Yeah, Saturday.
yeah, so we gotta recuperate on
Send
Sunday.
everything in and they get the state on freeze, because they need to visit.
I gotta follow out
Meeting
on
order.
Sunday.
I don't think we need to come back in. I think if you guys get all that stuff to us, the update, you don't gotta come back in. I mean,
Get it to
Can do
you,
that.
get it to Lynn.
give it to Lynn, yeah, not me.
To Lynn, okay, great.
That way we'll all see it and we met the guidelines, it's-
Right, if you have questions, you know us, feel free.
Oh, yeah,
You know where we are.
Easy to work with.
You know where you live.
I'm down there a lot, right, Kurt?
Good story.
The problem you've got is I've sold about 20 of those trucks, and even Dale Roberts owns one.
So every time I see
Even
Dale
Dale?
park there.
I had 2 of them for a while.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Oh, Dale, I ain't seen Dale in a long time.
Oh,
All right, guys.
yeah. Thank
Thank
you
you so
again,
much.
appreciate it.
Debbie.
Thank you.
Debbie.
Yeah, Dale and Deb, yeah, and the
Yeah,
kids.
it's warm in there.
Dale's now got his mother-in-law living with him.
I think it's a little girl. Yeah, good boy. Jerry.
All right, guys.
Oh, really?
Thank you
Yeah,
again.
thanks again.
You know,
Thank you too. Stop, like I said, stop in. First
I will.
talks a lot, I'll give you a tour.
I hear that so much. I totally wrapped my mind around that statement.
All right, thank you, guys. Deborah, please.
Bye, guys.
I'll talk out there in about 2 seconds.
Guys, get ready.
I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session for 1 MRSA 4056A.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Is there gonna be more after you come out, or is?
Yes.
This is an appointment?
Nope, there'll be more.
Okay,
This is-
I'll wait then. My knee hurts.
I'm telling you.
Are you gonna?
James, don't hurry.
Right now?
Don't hurry, James, yeah?
Olive oil or something? Yeah, oh, I know I was, I know what my limits are. I just push them sometimes.